welcome to All New Nerds Live, our first live with new Star Wars content. Today, I am joined by Dylan, my co-host as always, but also special guest, HoloNet Marauder, All New Marauder, AJ in the house, and Johnny should also be here. He was here literally when we hit the countdown. I don't know where he is now, but how's everyone doing? We got new Star Wars content, and we're going to talk about it. Book of Boba Fett Episode 1, Stranger in a Strange Land. So, AJ, as the guest, get your thoughts first. What did you think about this episode?
Same reaction I had to like the Bad Batch opener, the premiere. Perfect opener for the series, I think. They did, I'm sure we'll get into all of it, but I thought they did an amazing job with the flashbacks, doing it while he's in the back of the tank. Like, I thought that was a genius way to do that. And we got a lot more flashbacks than I thought we would, but I think it all worked.
It looks
really
like
well.
we're going to get a lot more flashbacks in general for this series. And before we go forward, so the layout of how we're going to do it, guys, in the chat is we are going to talk, the four of us, for about half an hour, and then we're going to pull on people in the chat, if you're still here, if you want to give us your thoughts about the episode.
We got the questions for you.
We
want to know. We want to know.
My question is, where did Johnny go? Where did Johnny go?
Me too.
I don't know.
Well, I guess we'll start the breakdown when he gets in, but the internet, I don't want to say they seem split. I feel like everyone at least thinks this episode is good, but I think some people expected more from episode 1, you know, the drop. I mean, think about it. Mandalorian season 1, episode 1, the ending was a baby Yoda creature. And it's like, what is going on here? Like, this is insane.
For me, I feel like, isn't the baby Yoda moment of this episode in the beginning? I mean, seeing him in the Sarlacc busting out is like...
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we've been waiting for that for, I mean, since Return of the Jedi came out, people wanted
seriously.
that. George, I mean, he didn't know how much people would like that character, I guess. But...
And here we are all those years later with a freaking show.
With a show about him on Tatooine. Crazy.
I'm definitely one of those people who was, last night, I was kind of mid on the episode. I think I was like around a 7.5. I thought it was good, but it felt the same way to me as like the beginning of Mando, where I'm sure, or of the second episode of Mando season 2, where it's necessary for the story. I understand why it's there, but it's probably not one I'm going to revisit a lot. And I think that's still mostly true. Like some of the flashback stuff runs just a little bit too long for me. A lot of people were saying this should have been longer. I think they should have cut some stuff. But I think my opinion of it has gone up. I slept on it. I've watched it again.
Ready.
There he is.
There he is.
Welcome back.
3 minutes in. I've slept on it. I watched it again, and the stuff that I liked just got more elevated. So I think it's probably around an 8. Like, I love the stuff in the present day. So
I definitely
but you didn't have that reaction that we had for that Camino part.
No, you guys really...
that was huge.
I loved it. The Camino was awesome. Yeah,
I was like,
we literally like, you can go see our reaction if you haven't seen it.
Like,
but, like, Camino comes up, and I think that was our biggest reaction.
It is.
Here's the audio from it.
Geonosis too. Those were like new shots.
Yeah.
Sounds like a bomb went off.
It's from a 2-second clip of a planet that exploded. So
yeah.
It's cool though. No,
it's cool.
Yeah, I do agree with you there, Levi. I think that the flashbacks, while fun and like they got some really cool content. We'll get to that in when we go through the breakdown. But they did run a little too long for my liking.
But I do know.
I don't agree.
Some people love that, like Johnny and like Brett in the chat, who's this Tuscan stuff was like that.
Why are you saying they went for too long?
For me, it just didn't work. I don't know.
It's serving a story purpose.
No, 100%.
I don't think they were like unnecessary long. I just preferred the present story, which seems like, you know, Levi.
I would have liked like 5 or 10 more minutes in the present day, I think, from the episode. Maybe it's not that they were too long. It's just I think
there wasn't enough of the rest of it. Yeah.
Well,
we'll get plenty of that.
We're supposed to be going back with Boba to understand how he got to where he is now. That's like the whole point.
No, I get the point. I understand what they're doing. I just eventually the Tuscans. I was like, all right, I kind of want to get moving on to the present day stuff.
I said this before you got here, Johnny, but I fully recognize it as necessary. I'm just not going to probably revisit it as much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not for me.
I'm somewhere in the middle there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But I think Johnny joined.
Johnny's he's doing it. He's doing it, Dylan. We talked about this before the show. We talked about this before the show. It's like Johnny's gonna just read chats in the middle of us talking and derail conversations.
Hey, it happens.
Is that what happens?
That happens sometimes.
Why did he say that though?
Speaking of reading the things, what is with all these cheese comments with you guys?
I don't know.
Anchorman wants us to do a cheese stream.
Cheese stream. I don't know.
What does that involve?
It's cheese.
I don't know.
Cheese.
I'm a
something
big cheese
with
guy,
cheese.
so I would
I like
gladly
cheese.
do
Yeah,
cheese.
Dylan and I have had a cheese night once or twice.
Hey,
like,
hey.
it's-
Book of Boba.
Sorry,
I'm
Book of
gonna-
Boba.
I'm just
Well,
gonna-
before we get into the breakdown, I do want to catch up with Chad a little bit, just acknowledge some.
Yeah, what did everybody think of this freaking episode?
Yeah, let us know.
I
Let's see, we
loved
got
it.
Dimes a dollar. Spoilers. Pajama Fett in episode 1. Yes, he was.
Pajama
technically.
Fett?
Yeah,
Oh,
we did
well,
see.
I guess the white undersuit. Yeah.
Arturo, what's
Oh
up?
yeah.
Goat Nation, what's going on? Millie and Brent, happy belated birthdays.
I
Oh,
wish.
yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
Happy
Millie's
birthday.
birthday too. Oh no.
You're
Yeah,
so
yeah.
evil for that. Don't worry. I
I
sent
feel
her a message
so
in
bad.
regards to all of us. Don't worry.
Thank you, because I
Too
was like,
soon.
oh, it's Brent's birthday. I totally forgot they had the same birthday. That's
Brent
big on
agrees
my
with you
face.
there, Johnny. Yeah, I
Happy
can.
birthday, Millie.
I understand.
Oh, man.
I don't like hate it or anything. I want more. I'm
Well,
just
I
craving
think you
more.
might.
I just-
Man, I think you
Yeah,
might.
maybe.
Mm.
You hated it?
Johnny Dimes wants to know your rating. I'm gonna give it an 8.
Oh, the
out of 10.
episode?
Not that he asked me.
Ugh, I don't know if I'm ready for that.
Yeah, I mean,
let's
we-
get through the breakdown. Let's start
we can
breaking
do it
down.
after
Yeah,
the
I'm not ready
breakdown.
for that. I'm not ready for a rating. Sorry.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So I mean, we open with like. With
Wait, is
just-
it Brent's birthday?
Yesterday it was. Yeah.
Oh
God,
my
it's-
god. I
Yesterday,
feel-
that's what I was saying,
Sorry.
Johnny.
You know what
I
that
I feel
calls
feel
for?
so bad.
I wished
Brent.
him a happy birthday, and that's what I'm
Happy
saying.
birthday,
we
Brent.
forgot.
I
This,
had no
like,
idea it was your birthday.
Ball. I'm
I'm
pondering
so
the
sorry.
orb.
Everyone pondered the
Pondered
orb.
the orb. Johnny,
Brent,
how did
happy
you-
birthday. I
How
feel
did you
evil.
miss that? I was like,
I don't
was
know
like,
how
oh,
I
it was
would've
Brent's
known that.
birthdays yesterday.
How would I have
'Cause
known
He
that?
talked about it. I guess you
That's
don't really read. You
cool.
don't really do the Discord. You don't really read.
I'm not on this.
Not a big
That's
Discord.
I'm so
But
bad at
what I
Discord.
forgot
And then-
was it
and
was
then
also Millie.
Dimes a dollar. he might be making this up, but it's his
No,
birthday.
Happy birthday. No, it is his. It's his birthday.
It is. Happy
Yeah.
birthday, Dimes.
I don't know. I'm just.
It is. It's his birthday. This
I
guy.
agree-
Johnny's
I-
the birthday miser. All right, we're
All,
wasting
all the
time.
birthdays, all the birthdays out of the way.
Back
Birthday's
to
out of the
Boba.
way.
Brent, I am sincerely sorry that I did not say happy birthday
Sincerely,
yesterday.
insincerely, sorry.
No, I'm not insincerely sorry. All right, back to Boba. My God.
Oh, we open the episode with these long shots of Jabba's palace, which is very cool. And my personal favorite of these is just this long shot of whatever his healing room is like, I'm pretty sure it's at the top of the spire. We've seen it in the trailers.
Yeah,
It's like the coolest
Yeah.
room of all time.
it is a
Yeah, it
dope
is.
room.
Back to chamber with the windows and the
Yeah.
flowing in, and then he's in the pod and he's having flashbacks. And as we've talked about, he sees Camino, Geonosis, new shots of Geonosis too.
New
yeah.
shot of from Attack of the Clones. I know.
yeah.
It's cool.
And this
They
was
built
good.
they built the Django helmet. I
This-
love to see that.
This stretch of like footage is probably up there. Like my favorite moment comes later, but this is like the best. This is the meatiest stuff for me to dig into. Like him having
Absolutely.
this
Absolutely.
PTSD and something I was saying to Dylan beforehand, by flashing back to young Boba, Daniel Logan Boba, it ties it also to Clone Wars Boba pretty expressly, because that's the same character there, which in turn, a lot of people have this conception of Boba Fett as this big bad bounty hunter guy, but if
Right.
you watch the Clone Wars, Boba is not
He's
that guy.
not
Like
that at
he's
all.
he's this kid who also has a moral compass. Like if you read Dark Disciple or you've seen the cut Clone Wars stuff where he shoots Cad Bane, I mean Boba is straight up the good guy in that.
If I was to
And-
make him in D&D, he would be true neutral.
yeah,
That's
he's
right.
Yeah.
and now he's starting to have a soul. And so I think one of the biggest criticisms I've seen is Boba kind of feels out of character doing some of this stuff, or he will feel out of character. But I don't know, by putting
I
in
don't
that
agree with that.
Attack of the Clones flashback, they're making you
Yeah.
be like, no, this is the kid. Like this is the same guy. He's not this.
Well,
Well,
If
do we
people are
think
basing
that?
if people are basing that off the movies, like what character do they even know? Like he says like 5 lines and
Yeah,
then he
that's true.
dies. So I
I
mean,
get
they could
people
Well,
always
do we
associate
think
him
that we
with
could
Vader.
maybe get younger Boba flashbacks to in the future of the show?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask that. Do you think they're gonna go back anymore, or do you think they're just doing Tusken stuff and then they're gonna keep?
Here's
moving
my one.
forward?
Here's my one theory for where that could work. If it's true that Cad Bane is in this show, they might
Yeah.
show that deleted scene, deleted canon scene
Right.
in live
with
action.
Daniel Logan as Boba.
With
maybe.
Yeah.
yeah.
I
oh
mean,
my
yeah, because
God.
he's in the armor in that scene, so you'd only need
Yeah.
the voice. And
Yeah, you don't
Yeah,
even
yeah.
need. I mean, like I don't know, man. That could be
Be
that
cool.
could be freaking crazy.
Be really
I don't
cool.
want to get. I don't want to get.
I think
any
that's
hopes
some.
up, but-
I think that's some responsible speculation, because seeing Cad Bane,
Thank you.
and we've already seen
Thanks,
Daniel
Levi.
Logan. Like that's not too crazy. Like he was
Speculate
Daniel Logan.
responsibly.
Daniel Logan was the top billed credit in this episode. He
Right.
was at the top of the list. So
Right.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it just so far the flashbacks have been in succession. It's like you got Camino, Then you got Attack of the Clones, shot
Yeah.
Geonosis. Now we're
Yeah.
moving even more forward. So I hope they go back.
I want
even
more
further.
Camino, dude. I want.
I would
more
love to see
Camino.
some Clone Wars
Oh,
flashbacks.
It'd be really
too.
cool to see more unused footage maybe from Attack of the Clones.
Which
with
that
Yeah.
could have been.
Yes.
Yeah.
That could have been.
I don't, dude.
I think
No,
that's
that
what it might have
helmet.
been.
That helmet.
The helmet shot
looked-
was new.
It was
for
new,
sure.
but
The
I
helmet
watched.
shot was new.
I
What are
watched.
you- what are you
I watched
referring to?
Attack of the Clones back, and none of those
Yeah.
angles are one for one the same. Like they did. Those are different shots.
Yeah.
Like the way the
So-
camera moves is
Or they
entirely different.
modified it
I
a little
thought
bit.
that
Yeah.
was like the last.
In Attack of
I'll
the
have to watch it
Clones,
back.
in Attack of the Clones, it's just a static, still camera, and then
Oh, it doesn't
nothing
move,
changes,
you're
and
saying?
Boba puts his hand up. All of the camera is moving, and all of those shots we see in Book of Boba. So they did
So it's
something.
possible they
to
used
digitally make
different
that new.
shots. Like maybe
Mm.
that was shot a couple times, or they.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
I don't think they would redo it.
I don't know.
No.
Yeah.
But
who knows?
anyway, so we move on from that flashback to I think this is my second favorite part of the episode, the Sarlacc. Seeing this inside the Sarlacc being as gnarly as it is after imagining it for so long.
Absolutely.
It was just gross, and seeing the Return of the Jedi armor in there, it's like it's cool, but it was just so cool. What do you guys think about that? Seeing the Sarlacc and busting out.
I mean,
I
this is
think
something we've
they-
been waiting for so long.
Yeah,
I mean, the second you see him go into that Sarlacc pit, you're like, well, he's got to get out. You know he gets out. Even before it was canon, it's like, yeah, he makes it out of that. They wouldn't. Someone that looks that cool doesn't die in a Sarlacc pit.
Have you
So-
guys ever played Gears of War?
I have.
It reminded me of something from one of the games where you have to like get out of a worm or something, and you like cut
Yeah.
your way out. It was like
You're in
it
those
reminded
big
me of that.
worm-
Yeah.
Gears of War kind of does a Gears of War 2. Shout out to Gears of War 2. You're in like
Yeah.
this massive worm. And it's cool stuff.
And to all the speculation for like,
What are you guys,
how does he
gamers
get
or
out?
something?
Does the Tuscans get him out? Nah, Boba does that himself. Boba gets out.
Yeah.
Of, he,
No. Boba does that.
Boba
that's
does
all
that.
Boba.
That's
It was
Boba.
cool to see the trooper
Oh,
down
Boba,
there,
baby.
too.
I know.
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
I
that
don't
was
know
cool.
That guy's story.
How
It's-
long
And I
was
loved
he-
how
how
he
did
grabbed his oxygen tube and like plugged it. That was cool.
That was cool.
Yeah.
Like, what the
Interesting.
hell happened to that guy? You know, there was no story.
Like, how did he
Nothing
get down
good.
there?
Nothing
When did he get
good.
down there?
Oh wait, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
How
you-
the hell did a stormtrooper get? I didn't. I just.
I like
hit
to
me.
think a stormtrooper went to
That just
Jabba's
hit me.
palace to do some like Empire business. Like they just sent one off, and then
And then
Jabba
they
was
threw
like,
him in
"Nah,
there.
we're throwing you in the Sarlacc pit."
Yeah.
In full armor.
I
yeah.
Or
like
he
for some reason
accidentally
was
fell down
thinking,
there.
like,
That'd be funny.
I was for some reason thinking that like stormtroopers were there during Return of the Jedi in that
No.
scene, but nope, they were
Why
not.
would they? Why would they be there?
I know,
Yeah,
no,
no.
I know. That's why. I was
Anyway,
like, well,
so he busts out of the
anyways.
sand in a great shot, and that's honestly, I think my favorite shot of the episode is him like crawling on the
His
sand.
arm.
But you see the wreckage of the katana, the sail barge, all just very cool. And then he gets the old Jawa beat
kind of mid,
Yeah,
kind of mid,
kind of mid. Just kidding. It's great. It's
I
great.
would have liked to see Bib Fortuna walking in the background, but it's too much. to
walking
ask.
away, and him and
Laughing
Max,
at Boba.
him and Max Rebo walking on his hands.
Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like this was the part where they were gonna touch upon it, if at all. So maybe
They
not
are.
big.
They mentioned Bib twice. That's enough for me.
Yeah.
Tuna.
It is true.
But,
I don't know.
But
Anyways.
yes,
This conspiracy that we've all had, and that like he was like it was an inside job type thing.
he had a hand in.
Well, I
Boba's
think that was
downfall.
Brent's. I think that was Brent's conspiracy. I don't know if that was our conspiracy.
I
Oh,
like.
I
the
mean,
idea.
I've
Did you
heard
buy
that.
in? Did you
I
buy
was gonna
into
say the
Brent's-
same thing, Brent. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
Oh, yeah.
all right.
Tatooine.
Oh yeah.
Tatooine.
Did we-
Maybe that droids are down here.
Maybe it falls in.
Oh,
I-
true. That's a good.
I mean, you
idea.
know, there are stormtroopers on Tatooine. It's not that
Right.
that's part is funny. That stormtrooper could have been there from 10 years ago. You know,
It's true.
how it be.
Yeah.
How it be. Anyway, so Boba gets the Jawa beatdown, the rip and steal, rip and tear,
Yeah.
and which I'm pretty
But
sure
we just
we
gets
knew.
beaten.
We knew from the Aftermath books. That part we already surmised from the Aftermath.
Yeah. What? Yeah. I'm curious to what we already knew.
Well, the
From what-
Jawas
from where to where.
The Jawas tell people that they just found it, which is they were like, "Yeah, we just found it. We took
Not
it,
wrong.
and we took it, and there was no body." And I think they just ripped it off of them.
Oh, I mean they found it with no body.
yeah, that's what they say. They were like, "Oh, we
Yeah.
just found it in the exploded Sarlacc. It's on its own," which is, I think, easily you don't have to retcon anything. That's just like,
Yeah.
Mike.
Mike, what's up,
Mike.
boys?
I love with Boba's last breath.
I'm not gonna sing
Like when his armor's being stripped away, he just like grabs the Jawa and then they beat him up.
Yeah, they just.
Yeah.
I mean, and Jawas are nothing to mess around with, man. I mean,
No, man,
Mando,
Seriously.
Mando season 1. Houdini. I love how that's one of the best parts of this whole new Star Wars Enterprise is that when Mando turns that Jawa into ash. He shoots it with the disintegrator, and they all go ah. But this is Book of Boba. So yeah, though he wakes up to this new Tusken tribe, which everyone I think unanimously thinks what a cool design for these new Tuskens.
What a drippy freaking Tusken Raiders.
Drippy.
They are dripped out.
I mean, look at these guys.
And,
this is the only picture I could find, but like
that.
the black robes and then you got the one that like has like the
black
red. I love the red. Yeah.
The one that looks like the one that looks like a mix of like Revan and a Tusken Raider is so cool.
Yeah, that one's sweet.
The Revan Raider.
And then there's the female one with the dreads, and I think something interesting.
Yeah, that's
about
what I was referring to.
You know, about this clan, so to speak, is that in Attack of the Clones you see what female and children look like for Tusken Raiders, and this one, which is a woman, doesn't look like that. So this tribe has like a different conception around like the gender roles. I don't know. I think it's kind of interesting.
Right. Yeah. It was like a matriarch.
Because like clearly, I mean, like clearly, like this tribe. I'm just saying, clearly, this tribe is different, and you can figure that out alone from the way they dress. Like she has like the stick, and I don't know. In Attack of the Clones, they have these. They look like nuns, kind of. The female Tusken Raiders, and they're very like they're not fighters, and the kids also have like that nun-esque look. But here, the kids like this is like a warrior clan to me. It reminded me a lot of you know, Arsharad Het, the Tusken Jedi from Legends, like that kind of tribe where these are just true warriors. And
they're just different factions, I would say. And then
I know it's cool.
Mike's need to get their heads checked.
The heads checked. Oh my god!
Cool. Dang.
It's true.
Jeez.
Straight from Jedi Dad himself. Yeah, no, I think it's just obviously just a different faction of the same people, like Brent's saying down here.
It's cool to expand the the Tusken Raiders though. Like I feel like they're very I mean in the movies they're very one note, you know. They're like they are the savages, but then in Mando we kind of see a different side of them. And then this kind of leans in a little more to the savagery because
the best Tusken moment has got to be just those guys at the Boon to Eve Classic just taking pot shots at the moderators. Those are just living life. They're just hanging out.
They're the Phantom Menaces.
They didn't like all the noise.
No, they're just like, get off my lawn and taking shots.
Imagine they just killed Anakin. Imagine Tusken.
I mean, they took out Teamto Fagales, right? They took him out. His pod racer goes rolling away.
True.
I'm about to interrupt. This is what a cheese stream is, apparently.
A cheese stream. Is a stream where you try to eat as much cheese as you can while live streaming. I might die.
Challenge accepted.
I really like cheese.
Matt would be.
Dylan and I could do that.
Matt is cheese man.
Cheese man.
Matt's pizza man, right?
Anyway,
hey, that involves cheese.
Anyway, so Boba is shacked up with this Rodian who sucks. This guy sucks.
Dude, that Rodian, I don't even care. I don't even care about that Rodian.
He's the worst. But anyway, he's like trying to get free.
Glad that happened to him.
And there's a Mastiff, and he like beats the Mastiff, and it's clearly a practical puppet, which I liked when he's holding it in his hands. It's cool to see a physical Mastiff.
They had a great mix of practical and CGI. They always have, but especially in this episode, I was like, dang. And the Trandoshan too. Yeah, that was one part.
But he tries to flee, and he gets his ass beat. And then
apparently that stunt, according to Convor Call last night, if you listened, that was Tem, right? Tem did that stunt because the stunt double got hurt.
I mean, and not according to Convor Call, they had one of the Tusken actors on the show, and he was talking about it. So it's not like allegedly,
right? It's not like they're I know.
No, like that guy was there. Roy Ross was there. Very, very cool. If you want to hear some behind the scenes about this first episode, definitely go check that out.
That was a lot of fun.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure after that fight, he loses that fight. He gets beat up. Is when Fennec goes boss, and then we wake up, and then now we get into the real good stuff. For me, anyway, because honestly, the flashbacks, I just think the desert motif, I've just seen so much of it with Mando as of late. And it's not that it's bad. It's just that I understand. I get it.
You want more variety.
I want more. And what is the variety is his badass new armor taking the offerings from the crime lords.
That was awesome.
I love this. Everything, the dialogue in this scene, like I was like, I used to work for that guy. And she's like, think about how weird it is for him. Like that's funny. That's funny dialogue.
Yeah. And then what did that guy just say?
Yeah, he's like,
Scene, I don't know if you put in the reaction.
Dylan and Ben like predicted the lines like 5 seconds
before he said, "What did that guy just say?" I like basically said that, and then there was a follow-up line
with the protocol droid.
Ben was like, "They're gonna need a protocol droid," and then he
goes,
"It's like a protocol droid," and they're like, "Whoa!"
Very cool.
Anyways, yeah.
Yeah, and 88's
Oh.
there from Return of the Jedi too.
Yeah.
Is this a
Yeah.
lie? Friend of the show doesn't.
I don't think that's a lie. No, I don't think he liked it.
Dang.
Anyway,
Tough flip.
so
Anyways.
it was cool that 88
Friend
is
of the show.
there from Return of the Jedi. He's the torture guy, the torture droid, and he's like, I don't even know like why 88. So he just hung out there forever, and then now he's like Jabba's
long time.
doorman, or
Yeah.
Boba's doorman. I think it's funny. And then like he's trying to give him advice too. He's like, with respect, Lord Fett, you have to be more of a badass.
Yeah.
Everyone's
and
telling
it's
him to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like,
Yeah.
I want to rule with respect, which I think
Right.
that is something.
That was a
to-
good impression, Levi.
to jump ahead, that is something about the flashbacks. Like they clearly serve a purpose. Is he gains
Yeah.
the respect of the Tuskens, and he's about like the whole respect angle of Boba Fett is clearly something that they are
Is
establishing
being developed. Yeah.
for someone to subvert it in the rest of the season, and he's going to be
Right.
like,
Right.
well, damn, he's getting a challenge on this respect angle.
And
'Cause I don't
I mean
think-
that could even be Fennec. I mean this scene is kind of where we I mean we saw in the trailers, but this is where we introduce their dynamic where does Fennec is like, hey, like we kind of gotta be ruthless like Jabba, and you know Boba's been around, he gets it, he wants to do things differently. So I'm excited to see more of that.
I have a question for you guys regarding the flashbacks.
Speak freely.
Do you think that the kid Tusken will like there'll be a
Yeah.
payoff there with that? Like, do you think that'll be someone 4 or 5 years later in present day? Some people I saw were thinking that.
How crazy is it if it's that Sophie whatever's character?
See, that's what some people think, and apparently there's a
Hmm.
legend story that is
That's
something similar to
interesting.
that.
Oh, okay. I
That's
didn't even
pretty
think about
freaking
that.
interesting. I
Right.
just
Yeah.
saw that now. Yeah.
Maybe.
That would be I thought it was just used to serve the fact that that's like the first link between Boba and the Tuskens trusting each other.
Yeah,
But I could see that they're putting a lot of
It could be-
emphasis on that kid.
they
I mean, the
are.
whole time they
Yeah.
were walking with the kid, they're like, "Why is he just with like? Why would they just send that kid out?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're all
so
survivors,
That,
man.
that could be
They're
a
all
cool
fighters.
connection. Yeah,
I don't know. I
Tusken.
think I don't know.
Sorry,
if-
Dimes.
I don't know if we're gonna see a lot of the Tuskens anymore. To be quite honest with you, we've seen almost all of their footage that was in the trailers in this episode, and we know that he's going to Anchorhead, which he mentions. You know, that's Tashi Station. He's getting out. I don't know. I think we're gonna wrap up the flashback timeline by episode 3 or 4, where it's going to come together. Because I would really hope that the whole show isn't split like this. I want at least a couple of the episodes, preferably 3 or 4, to be fully. This is the timeline. This is the new timeline. He doesn't need to keep going, flashing back.
I do feel like the back to tank will be stripped away from him at one point. That seems to be because they've already established his reliance on it. So I feel like it might get stripped away. at some
or he
point.
just heals. Like I don't.
Yeah.
And with what we know,
know.
we've seen in the trailer, he has the Tusken robes. He goes back to Jabba's palace. He's with Fennec. Like we know where it goes. It just goes up to where Mando is. So I don't need to
Right.
see. I just don't know. I don't know how that flashback is going to be. But there has to be a big time jump, right? Because that's what we're seeing now is 5 years before. You know.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking next episode there might be a pretty big time jump after he tries to get to Anchorhead. Like something. I think something's got to happen where he gets out.
Sorry, we're getting bought.
Yeah, bot attack.
Brent asked me what the legend story was, and a friend told me about this, so I can't take credit. But it was something with the Hets, a human family taken in by Tuskens.
Ashrad Head. Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
talking about earlier.
So-
that's what I was saying that this people remind me of.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I mean, that could answer the age-old question that's like not really answered in canon. Like, what does a Tusken look like under the mask? You know.
Yeah.
It looks.
I mean, are
Right.
they just normal people, or are they like some kind of different race?
Well, you know it
Yeah.
in Legends. In Legends, the yeah, you see. I don't know. They just look like
That's
aliens.
true, Millie. That's true.
Right. But I mean, we've seen different variations, right? Like of what they could look like on like I don't think
There's
there's
only-
one solid.
There's one. Yeah. No, there's one.
Okay.
There's like it's from one issue of this comic, but like
Right,
there is
right.
one where Anakin sees what a Tusken looks like, and he's like, all the Tuskens that you see in Legends are humans who have been converted to being Tuskens.
Oh,
So
got it.
it's not. Anyway, so yeah, so Fennec and Boba head out to the sanctuary, I think it's called, run by Garsa Fwip, and this part I love. This is my favorite scene in the whole episode. I love the vibe of this place, the sanctuary. I love that Max
Oh my
Rebo
God.
is there.
That's like Max
Rebo.
Rebo being in anything.
going to town. It's just great.
Yeah.
It was
that
just,
was the place to be. Best
it was the
content
place
I've
to
seen.
be.
That's like
Yeah.
honestly.
Oh man, All
Max
of it.
Rebo's doing great for himself, I'll say. I mean, his band looks a little different, and I guess he survived the sail barge. But
He is, but Max Rebo, so I hadn't thought about Max Rebo in a serious way since I think the first episode I was on this channel, All New Nerds, where I talked about how Max Rebo actually
This
doesn't
channel,
have
All New Nerds.
Yeah, it doesn't have legs, but he has like arms, and those are like his legs he's standing on, and he's using his toes.
Yes.
And so I went to my character guide and I looked up Max Rebo, and the Max Rebo page is absolutely nuts. He's like they list him as half insane keyboard player. He's like he's like obsessed with food, and Jabba paid him in like meals, and he's like this guy who's out of his mind, who like didn't know where he was at all times and only cared about food, and he was like dying from how much food he ate because he was half insane. I was like, what like Max Rebo? What the hell?
So much lore to Max
I'm
Rebo.
like, Jesus Christ. Just the fact that half insane was in Max Rebo's description. I forgot. I didn't know that. That's something.
Well, he lives. Bib lives and Max Rebo lives.
I like to imagine, like, because if you've ever seen, I think you only see it in the Galaxy of Adventure shorts or one of those things, how they run. It's like those are their legs. So it's just sort of like a ball, and they like hobble along. I'm just imagining like this insane Max Rebo running away from the sail barge just through the desert. Like I need food.
He needs his piano and his
like he's like, I need to play. Like this.
How about that Astromech playing the drums
man.
too, though?
That was
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Was awesome.
Yeah, it's just something about Max, man. I love that.
I love Max.
It
He's my favorite like
joy.
background character.
Thank you, LaBelle.
Like, I love Max Rebo.
Oh yeah,
Hey,
put a smile on your face.
They didn't lean into those being his legs much though.
Well, I mean, like,
Because-
we're really gonna pause the episode and be like, Max
Well,
Rebo.
legs-
Fun fact:
Boba
Max
says
Rebo
pathetic.
only has
Those are his
legs.
legs, Fennec.
You know
Yeah.
those aren't
Those
his
are
legs. And then he
Yeah.
winks at the camera.
Yeah.
No,
that
but
would have been
so
that would've been kinda funny.
so are they on his shoulders? That's
Yeah.
where there's. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that-
All right.
that's,
So
what-
that's
that's
okay.
how it is in Return of the Jedi too. Yeah.
Got it. All right. Cool.
Yeah, he's just that's
Continue.
his legs, man.
That's the Max
it's his
Rebo
toes.
Yeah.
Max Rebo segment. Very funny.
I just have to laugh. I just have to.
Here's
laugh
to
at
many
this.
more.
Arturo, love it. Thanks for sharing. It's funny stuff, man.
Thank you, Johnny. Thank you, Johnny, for
Phones these
interrupting
days.
with phone.
Phones
What's the
these
deal with phones?
It's just what is this chat? What is this chat?
Chat, you know what they're talking about? Yeah.
Talking about Max
Talking about their
Rebo.
phones.
Oh yeah, Max
funny.
Rebo was in the Lego
Funny
holiday
stuff.
special. So
And he has legs
Was he?
there.
he
Confirmed.
well, that's because he's a Lego.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, true.
But he doesn't want to.
He
But I don't-
past the rise of
Oh,
Skywalker.
can I do
That's
it?
You
great.
can't do it.
But
Just because it was introduced. You better
Yeah.
find it quick.
But I don't want to be a Lego.
yeah,
That's
I've
Max
never seen
Rebo.
that. Oh my
You've
god.
never seen
that?
it?
Oh,
No, and I'm like
AJ,
diehard
we
Seinfeld.
haven't shown him?
Yeah, we can't do it now, but
All right,
We'll do it
there's a
later.
whole, there's
Show
a
you
whole
after.
Seinfeld.
There's a
Lego
whole
thing.
2 videos.
Holy smokes! How
And
did I
it's
miss
Two
that?
videos.
And you go, I don't
Okay.
want to be a Lego.
But I don't want to
Yeah.
be.
That's gold.
Anyway,
Back to Boba. Oh,
So
I have
where
a
were we?
question. How does this like stand in your rankings of pilot episodes for Star Wars shows? That's what
Okay.
I'm curious.
I think that's
Tough to compare.
That's
but-
Can we
tough.
come
Yeah.
back to it after the breakdown? I'll
let's
think on
let's-
it.
We
let's
could.
circle back.
Does Mando
Yeah, I'll
season
think
2
on it.
count?
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, if Mando,
Yeah.
That's
if Mando
number
season
one
2 counts,
for me.
then yeah, Mando
Yeah.
season 2 is one. Honestly, Bad Batch might be
Bad
number
Batch
one.
2.
Bad
Bad,
Batch.
yeah,
Batch
the
is
intro
up
for
there.
Bad Batch.
I'm trying to think. Bad Batch. I mean, Boba. But you gotta think
The
about like,
only thing that
It's like
Boba
this
is
like
above-
the Sarlacc dude.
I know,
like,
but the only
alone
thing
Order,
that
Order
Boba-
66.
Yeah, the only thing that I
That's
can
true.
say,
That's true.
the
That's
only
true.
tough.
thing that I can
tough.
say Boba
That's
is
tough.
like for sure above is the Clone Wars, and like that's it. Otherwise, I'm putting
Mhm.
Rebels above it. I'm putting both Mandos above it. I'm putting Bad
Wow.
Batch above it. I mean,
Dang.
Wow.
it's like
Continue to
it's very similar.
surprise
Not
me.
because it's bad, but just because
That's it.
Mm,
those other things do a lot
Okay.
more in their premieres.
Yeah.
than this.
Gotta put it somewhere.
This
I don't
this
think it
is
was
a
better
setup.
than Rebels. I don't
I-
agree with that.
I think Rebels does a lot in that premiere, and it also has more time, more characters to deal with. Like
Well,
this is just. I'm not
Oh
saying
my
this is bad. But like this
God.
is a building. This is a building story. You know, this is like the setup to what the story of Book
might
of
need
Boba Fett
to
will
might
be.
need to get a chat moderator. No.
No,
That's
well, hey,
another
you
conversation.
have you have that
That's
power.
another conversation.
It's tough
Um,
to
yeah.
rank in episode 1 without seeing the rest of the series, I guess.
It is. It really
don't know.
is. Anyway, so the mayor is. I wrote this down. They see it in the subtitles. Is Mock Shays. So whoever that is, I think it's the Ithorian you see.
Completely new
Yeah.
character.
Completely new. I have no recollection of Mock Shays. Anyway,
Okay.
after they walk out
Interesting.
and they get their helmets polished, quote unquote, they get jumped by what I can only imagine
A
is
bucket full of credits.
his goons in a pretty sick
Mm.
action sequence.
Parkour! Star Wars parkour!
The Red Key
How
Raiders.
cool is that?
Is that what they were?
I think they're just the guy that Fennec captures has these tattoos on his face, and I think it's the same tattoos as what the dudes spray paint on the house in the flashback.
That would make sense.
Oh,
Got it.
See, I think that's
interesting.
not to jump ahead or whatever.
Oh, we can
but
jump ahead because we're just
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
I think one thing that left me unfulfilled. I loved the episode. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
the ending, it just ended right during a flashback. I was kind of hoping we'd get like a big cliffhanger with that guy being captured.
Yeah,
That would have been nice. But next episode.
And I hopefully, I hope next episode has that Tashi Station flashback, which looks intense. You
I think it will. Yeah.
If we introduce Sophie Thatcher's character, I think that's going to elevate the episode too. I mean, new characters are always good, new blood, and
Yes.
I don't know. I think I'm excited for the show, and I think a lot of people just were maybe like John Campia, maybe a little bit let down by it's so clearly set up. It's just set up. It needs to be.
I
there.
mean,
Yeah.
That's
But
what
it's-
isn't
it's
that is
setting
that
up.
not what a pilot episode is?
Not always.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, sometimes they do different things. Like this is like this.
I mean,
is
you
got
got to think about like they had to establish like a history.
I know
with
this
the-
is
with the
this is
character
this
that
is
has
a character.
such a deep history and deep
I'm
lore.
not.
don't
I
know.
don't dispute it. This is a character
Yeah.
study on Boba Fett, a very specific niche
Right.
thing. It's not like Rebels or Bad Batch where it's this cast of characters that they're establishing that are about to
Right.
go on this adventure. Like this deal, like it has flashbacks to stuff you've already seen. Like people, I don't know. It's Boba Fett. Like it's very specific. And
Can you answer this?
no, she's not.
No.
Not that we know of.
Not that we know of.
Right.
I
Well,
don't think.
It's not the character everyone thinks it is, because that would be wacky.
Yeah.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, so he gets beat up in this fight, and the Gamorreans like drag him back to his pod with his clothes on. I love that.
Oh,
shot.
I love the
Dragging him in.
Gamorreans. Oh wait, we
They
didn't
were
even
great.
say that.
Yeah,
I
the
heart
Gamorreans.
Gamorrean.
I think they betray him for sure because in the next
You
episode
think they will?
you see
That
in
would be
this in the TV
sad.
spot Fennec punching them down.
Oh,
Um,
true.
So
Oh, dang
I
And
it.
then
gotta-
Fennec will be right for being like, "Are you sure you can
Yeah,
trust?"
you got to
them?"
go breaking
Like,
our hearts.
yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think they're good guys. I think they're just a bunch of
They
pigs.
couldn't
you
if
know
they
what I'm saying?
tried, AJ.
Just some pigs.
And they kind of are, no?
Anyway, I kind of want to turn over the discussion to Johnny at this point because at this this is like what I don't
To me?
because this is so then he flashes back and it seems like he really liked the flashbacks. This is where I'm like this goes on way too long. This is the last 10 minutes of the episode of him just digging for water.
I agree
I
that
get
they
it. Like,
that
I-
they should have that
I
they should
get-
have like they should have ended the episode with him like waking back up or something like that. Or like it should have been back to modern day at the end of. I wish we got a little like a couple minutes more.
If we got like 5 more minutes, I think you
yeah.
guys said that in your reaction video.
I think
like-
yeah, that's what Gibbs said. Yeah, I do agree with that. But what we got, I can appreciate a lot.
I'm just looking at the time breakdown and it's 10 minutes of the first flashback, 10 minutes of the present timeline, and then another 10 minutes of this flashback. And I
Yeah.
just wish the breakdown were a little bit different.
Yeah. Well, I don't think that's gonna be the whole show. But
Yeah, I mean, like,
like
I
I,
guess
said,
we're
like this
skipping-
was to set up a lot of.
this is where we got the fight with that that giant creature, right?
the Scorpion
Harryhausen
King,
on
the
it,
Rock
yeah.
What,
Scorpion.
what
like-
was that? Was that not?
It was
I have no
unnamed.
Okay.
We had subtitles on, just said monster or like sand monster.
Yeah.
So it reminded me of like a stop motion. What's the animator's name, Levi?
Ray Harryhausen.
Right. Yeah. Or we said the Rock from the Mummy kind of gave us that vibes when he was Scorpion.
Yeah.
But I thought it was super cool.
Yeah. It
That
is.
whole
No, that
fight
thing was
scene.
sweet. Just chilling in
It
the
looks
sand and
incredible. Like, not that Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like, I think
did.
Star Wars usually does CGI pretty well. I think Marvel sometimes misses the mark with CGI, but
Yeah.
Star Wars, on the other hand, like they always kind of nail that kind of stuff. And they did it again there.
I mean, that's the episode ends, man. I mean, he gets he kills it, he cuts his head off, and he gets the water. He gains the respect
Right.
of the Tuscans, and he's going to get those robes.
I did want to mention, because it was kind of we glossed over it a bit, but it was kind of a point of contention with some people online that like Boba gets his ass handed to him by those guards. I mean, he puts up a good fight, but like he gets beat, and like they definitely want you to notice that he's not in tip top shape, you know. he like is like pretty messed up from the events he's been through. I wonder where that's gonna transpire or how he's gonna have to overcome that.
It makes sense, but he kicked those stormtroopers' ass in Mando.
And
Those are stormtroopers, though. These guys
True,
had big
true. These are
No, I see what you mean.
ninjas. Yeah.
I love how he did the bring down with the I don't know
yeah.
whatever weapon he was. Yeah, that was sweet.
Yeah, interesting actually.
Matrix Reloaded
Sorry,
right there.
reading chat. Brent, good point. It is like Arrow a little bit. If anyone's seen Arrow,
Yeah, a little bit.
very similar actually. That's a good point.
All right. Well, we've been talking
Anyways.
about this between us for about 30 minutes, so I think we should open it up to you.
Let's
the
open
chat.
That's
The
very nice. I'll
people.
put it in the chat. Yeah, I got
The
it. It's
people.
all pinned.
We
I'm
opening it
pasting-
up.
Pasting right now. We have some questions to ask you. Depending
Yeah.
on how many people join, we'll have you for.
It could be zero of you.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
we might
so
ask
want
you
you guys
zero
on.
questions.
It is.
We want
pinned,
you guys- we
so
want you
click
guys
that
to come
link,
on.
You can join the streamer. I
There's
believe
the
with
link.
StreamYard you have to connect a YouTube account, which is weird. But I'm
I
pretty sure you
don't
can just use
believe
your
so.
email.
I don't
Pretty
think
sure
so.
you just go in. I don't
Okay.
believe.
Every time
so.
I've done it, I've had to like
Come join.
put in a YouTube email.
Well, you have it wrong.
We didn't talk about the Boston Dynamic things.
I
Oh,
yeah.
know.
Yes.
I
They came
freaked
from
out.
the-
like,
yeah.
why the hell is the Boston
From
Dynamic
MIT.
like, dog
That's
thing
something I didn't
there?
like.
Yeah, I
that-
wasn't huge on
nothing.
them. They weren't
Because
very Star Wars.
Because
But
AJ,
No,
in
but it
that
was
same
kinda
shot, you see like the droid that's outside of Maz's castle in Force Awakens walking in the background, and I love that
Right.
thing, like
I
that
love
big
that thing.
lumbering thing. And
Yeah.
I was looking at that, and then they were like, "Look at these Boston Dynamics," and I was like, "What?" And I was like, "Oh, weird."
yeah.
All right,
Robot
so
dogs.
That
Our
was
fir-
really weird.
It
our
was.
first
Yeah.
guest,
Anyways, yes.
and please feel free to join, Brent.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Hey.
Hey.
To you.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Sorry,
Thank you.
Brent.
Be
I feel
yesterday.
like
Thank
an
you.
awful friend.
That's cool. That's all right, man.
It's
That's good.
cool.
I am
No,
not on.
that's-
I am
it's
not on
fine.
Discord. That's why.
No, that's fine. That's cool. Wow, guys, how cool was that episode?
Brent.
Yeah,
right?
I think you liked it.
I
the
watched
best.
some of your reaction.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Like it was. Yeah.
You were having
Yeah.
a great time.
I realized how much I got really overexcited in my reactions. It's like-
Oh no! We did too. Are you
It was
kidding me?
great.
Did you see how we reacted to like the 5 seconds of Camino?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We had the same. Yeah.
Favorite planet. I'll take as much Camino as I can get, considering
Me
it's
too.
not there.
Yeah, me too.
So
Yeah.
or at least
Me too.
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, what do you?
Yep.
What? How do you? I think that's a
They're
good
starting to
question.
come through.
How did? How did?
Uh,
How would you compare this to other Star Wars premieres in terms of your?
I literally typed in text. I think I've got to sit on that for a little bit.
yeah.
Do that.
I got to let it sink in, and I think I need to see it a few more times. I did enjoy it. I definitely don't think it was my favorite of season premieres, but
Yeah.
it was filling. There was so much stuff and all the little details.
Absolutely.
I think I need a few more days at least just to kind of let that settle in and watch it a few more times in reality. So, that's my thought process about
Yeah.
where it ranks.
I would agree.
And from what I know, from what you were saying,
Yeah.
me and in your reaction, you really loved this Tusken Raider flashback stuff. So
I loved
Yeah.
all the flashback stuff because I
Want
mean
more.
just the fact that we get to see stuff that again we started seeing it in Mandalorian, as you guys mentioned, and we're getting to see more of this. What are the side characters? What are the background characters got? I've always said that Star Wars is one of those stories that you can tell who needs a what if in Star Wars. You could pick droid number 6 in the background or Sam person number 2 over there and give them an entire story, and you'd lap it up because there is so much to be told. And that's what we're getting in all these other stories. We're getting to see, I mean, this is the first time we've really developed and gone into other factions of Sand People. This is interesting. And think about it. Who else has other factions? Mandalorians have different factions, so that's maybe why Mando Din Djarin got along so well with the Mandalorians as
Right.
well. With the Sand People as well, is just the fact that they can connect in some subconscious level to a tribal race that is separated from its other groups for that reason. And there's all these little nuances in everything that Jon Favreau has been putting together in the writing. It's these little moments, right down to when Boba Fett is carrying his helmet with all the coins. There's a reason that they threw the coins in his helmet, is that they wanted him to leave so he couldn't easily put on his helmet and easily defend himself when they decided to attack and try to kill him. There's got all these little things, all these little subtle moments have got an entire thought process behind them if people are willing to sit and look at those moments. And the same with the Sand People. You got these backstories of characters. They've got all these little moments in there. The moment you saw the child, Sand person, you knew immediately that somehow this bond is going to be created between Boba Fett and this child. And you see that bond unravel in the course of this story. So when you say, what do I think of the flashbacks? I love the flashbacks because there's a little bit of pre-telling. You kind of see where it's going, but it's really just wonderful to see this story. And it's a lot better of a communication than, say, the line, somehow Palpatine has returned, which gave us nothing in
Dark science.
Dark science. Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying you don't get that.
Mic drop.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. No.
Was there?
Mic drop. Yeah.
Anyway,
Was
there
sorry.
anything? So, we've kind of got a lot of this episode. We kind of knew what was going to happen based on the trailers. Was there anything that genuinely surprised you?
Max Rebo.
Okay.
I seriously was like,
good one.
That guy is dead, but the fact is, if both Bib Fortuna and Max Rebo could have escaped, what other races, characters got out from there?
Can you imagine a crazed Max Rebo running through the desert?
On his two legs.
I like to imagine
hungry.
I like to imagine Bib Fortuna holding him, feeding him as they're running away from the.
Yeah. The visual of that alone is worth him surviving.
Oh, completely. Yeah. No, for sure. I somehow get the feeling there was a speeder or a swoop on board the sail barge, and that was how Bib Fortuna jumped on. And I'd love to see that happen. And I'm sure, that's why I think we're going to get so much flashbacks through this series in general, because it leaves such great arcs to tell two stories. Everything that happened to Boba Fett prior to the Sarlacc and everything that happened to Boba Fett after the Sarlacc. There's obviously a spiritual change within Boba Fett from staying with these Sand People for 5 years, between that period of time till he gets his armor back. So that change is two different versions, and this new version of Boba is obviously going to try to be that person that he thinks he wants to be, but I don't think it's going to work for him in this kind of world. And I think he'll have to get violent again just to prove his point.
I think you're exactly right.
It's definitely gonna break him. I
As well. But it's also nice to see the stuff about who he was prior to that, because there's all these stories. Again, this relates back. Is he going to get bumped on the head, put in a back to tank, and we see a flashback of Cad Bane when they go to do the Cad Bane story arc? Hopefully, we say cross fingers as we know, we know, but we're going to get to see a backstory and a front story. In the same, a full story. This is the current story.
I hope. I really do hope though that they merge. I know you were saying that. I think it's going to be for the whole show. I hope they merge by the midway point.
I don't know if they need to. I think the entire, at least the first season, is going to be these two things. We've got so much to be, still discovered. How do the moment that Boba Fett and Fennec Shand meet? That's an entire story, I'm sure, by itself. We're obviously going to have to deal with a Cobb Vanth story about, why he didn't go after his armor sooner. Because we're sure that he would have found out by now. There's going to be a story about how he gets his ship back. We've already seen that in the trailer. So we know that there's all these other stories to be told. And I don't think that you're going to want to cram all those particular stories by halfway through the season. I feel like that through the course of the 7 episodes, we are going to get this constant flow of backstory.
And that's definitely going to be something that this show does. I imagine it's going to, each episode is going to build on the last and make me appreciate the one before. And
I hope
so Brent, I see that there's a line of people.
Yeah, absolutely. No,
we actually, the multiverse is expanding.
That's cool. Awesome. I can't wait to see what other people
can't
think.
through.
Yeah.
Hey, Choco.
What's up?
Choco's in the chat.
Hey.
We'd love to see it. So
yeah,
we do
that's
want to
cool.
get.
Absolutely.
Next up was Million, just to let you know.
Brent, where can they find you?
Where can they find you?
You can find Age of Grogu. We just dropped a reaction trailer this morning for Book of Bubba. Go check it out.
Great reaction.
It was a fun one to watch. Thanks everybody.
These two channels below us, they need to get up to 1K. So we got it.
Hey AJ, sorry, I completely didn't say it. AJ there.
No, it's all good. Happy birthday.
Thanks, Brent.
You guys are next. See you, Brent.
Right.
See you, buddy.
Thanks, Brent. All right. So now.
All right.
Millie is on the stream.
Welcome to the
Hey.
show,
Hey, guys.
Millie. Hi,
Hey.
Happy
how are
birthday.
you?
Welcome
First-
Thank
aboard.
you.
Happy
Thank you.
birthday.
First
Thank you.
time? Is this the first time you're on our show?
I think so.
Yeah.
You've been on
Yeah.
here, yeah.
Can
Yep.
you ponder the orb for us real quick, Millie?
Yeah, ponder the orb. Quick
Yeah.
ponder of the orb.
Mm.
Which I'm pretty sure is an inside joke. I don't know if we told anyone about the ponder
No,
the orb
I don't
thing.
think so.
Pondering,
I don't
it's
think so.
it's a thing on the internet.
All right, Millie. Well, here you are.
Yes.
Yes.
The biggest Cammy and
Yes.
Fixer fan.
You didn't click on this
Biggest
episode.
Tatooine fan. So.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Next episode though. But what did you think about this? What did you think about this one?
Oh gosh, I loved it. I again was not expecting to see Max Rebo because last time
He
we saw
was.
him was on the barge. So
Presumed
that
dead.
apparently exploded. And I yelled when I saw Camino, and I
Mhm.
don't know if that's like reused footage from
I don't think
from
the
so.
Camino-
Camino. I
was
think
new.
that could
It looked
be
too
used
good to
footage.
be Attack
I
of the
think
Clones.
that's new.
Yeah.
Positive.
Yeah, because
Pretty
I don't
positive.
remember seeing a shot of that from Attack of the Clones.
Neither do I.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Let's see what else. Ooh, there's like so much.
There is a lot. There is a lot.
There was a lot. I'm thinking, okay, when we see like the gang members, I don't really know what their gang is. Like when they've raided the Tatooine homestead of somebody, they like graffitied like
Yeah, they
something
did.
on their house. I don't know what that logo could be. That could
So
be.
Oh my god.
There's the rumors about the
Done.
Hammerhead. That's like going to be the main, I guess,
Yeah,
like,
that's
faction
the
or
Okay.
whatever.
Yeah.
And maybe like Sophie Thatcher's character could be part of that gang in 5 years, maybe. I
Well,
don't
they're
know.
definitely,
True.
yeah, they're
Uh,
definitely on the swoop bikes, and she's on her like
And
space.
we definitely
space
see them like
You got the best
attacking Cammy and Fixer allegedly in one of the trailers.
Did
Yeah,
you see
So
that?
that's
they
true.
could be connected.
Well, I
Right.
think
Not sure.
because in that scene, Boba says,
Yeah.
I can get to Anchorhead, and
Mhm.
that's where Tashi Station is, and so that's probably where those biker guys were going. So that'll probably link up. But in terms of the symbol, I was pretty sure because you can see when Fennec captures the guys. Sorry, Johnny's
I
distracted
just
me.
saw
Yeah.
that too.
You can
Sorry.
see that they have like the guy has like a face marking on, and I think it's because the symbol sort of looks like
Yeah.
a double J,
I-
like a Justice League almost.
Yeah.
kind
Yeah.
of logo.
Just like, yeah.
Yeah, J and L, honestly.
Yeah, Jane and Ellen. So I
The
was like,
Star Wars
maybe
Justice
League.
that's what it is. So I think we'll
Yeah,
get to the
could be.
bottom of what's going on there. We'll get to the
Yeah.
bottom.
Could be. Yeah.
In terms of
That's
the
great.
in terms of how you compare it to other Star Wars premieres, though, how does it sit for you?
Mm.
Ooh. I don't know. I can't
a
really
tough
compare.
one.
It's tough.
It's tough.
Like
It is
Yeah.
tough.
like Mando season 1, like obviously with the baby Yoda, like with the Grogu reveal at the end, like I was
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Well,
That broke the
who-
internet. Yeah.
That did break
Yeah.
the internet. I feel like that equivalent would be like obviously Max Rebo, like Brent said. Like I don't know.
I'm
something
glad Max
about
Rebo's getting all
Rebo.
this love. Because
I
Oh, yeah.
know he's so
Dude, the
underrated.
Rebo love is out there. Come on.
The
now.
Reboverse.
Like-
The Rebo.
Like when he
Rebo.
showed up in the Star Wars Holiday Special, like I mentioned in chat earlier, I was like,
There he
he's
is.
still alive,
Yeah.
even though Lego Star Wars isn't technically canon, but it's kind of sort of canon because of
Loose
like
cannon.
Canon in my heart.
General Hera, like General Hera's outfit we see in like Freemaker
Right.
Adventures, I think.
Mhm.
Like that outfit shows up in like
Yeah,
Star Wars
Squadrons.
Squadron, so that's
Yeah.
canon. Like that
Yeah.
outfit's canon.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah,
like
you're right.
Good
Yeah.
the
point.
Lego Star Wars in a sense could be like partially canon. So if that's the case, then Max Rebo like would live past Tross, surprisingly.
He's eternal. He's running
So-
around. He's just running around the
He's
galaxy.
Nobody
eternal.
can catch him.
Yeah.
Oh, confession.
So
Oh, can you imagine him like on Exegol, like running around the
oh god.
running around the like
Next
the-
I
the
mean,
next
don't we
Sidon.
allegedly see the
He's a
Razor
Sith
Crest
Lord.
on Exegol, like in the final battle?
allegedly. I think that's fake news, but
We also
don't know.
sort of
That's
see it
me.
in The Force Awakens, but that's
nah, it's different ship. Different
No, I
ship.
know.
Oh,
And it
yeah.
also blew up.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it's also
a different
exploded.
one.
It did blow up.
And
They
in
fixed it.
Battlefront, I think.
Well, what you do see in
Or is that a
Battlefront
different ship?
is the slave. You see the we come around. What you do see in Battlefront is the Slave One on Takodana, which is
Interesting.
Maybe.
Which is around the same
maybe-
time?
yeah,
You're
maybe
killing
we'll,
me.
maybe we'll get around to that. Just saying, by the end of the show,
Maybe.
we go visit.
It's possible.
Mm.
Hey, Max
Hmm.
Rebo's gonna be there too on
And
his
you know,
tour.
and That'd be
Really?
great if like
That would be really cool.
who
if he just
cares about
follows.
they go to Maz's castle, maybe Han is there, but Max
Yeah.
Rebo's playing. Like he made it all the way across.
Han
the
Solo has
galaxy.
a beard at this point. We know that.
True.
Yeah,
True.
bearded Han
Right,
Solo,
yeah.
and he's good looking. All right, I'm saying just
Mhm.
Millie, do
Yeah.
you have any major
Yes.
predictions for the next episode?
Yeah.
Other than Cammy and Fixer, introduction to Sophie Thatcher's character in present day, hopefully. Oh gosh. Hopefully Omega at some point.
Ooh.
That could be crazy.
I like
I don't think
it.
they're gonna do it. But
I know Jamie has mentioned in the HoloNet Discord, or one of the Discords I'm in, like she's mentioned that she may or may not have heard Omega's theme in the Boba Fett theme.
Oh yeah. I think
don't.
I think everyone
like,
was having
I
a
think
spice
I-
stream
everyone,
with that.
yeah, everyone's
Yeah.
hearing something.
Yeah.
In that game. Everyone's hearing something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Here's the
hoping
most
she's
important
so.
question.
She shows.
Yes, that
Yeah,
is the
Hunter
most
Friend, what we
important
learned
question.
if Boba for as far as Mug or A and W.
Ooh.
That's a good question.
Boba's
What was
on the
one-
mug club, dude. I'm telling
yeah, I think Boba's a mug guy.
Nah, he's an IBC guy. I'm gonna.
That's what's
IBC.
really in those Tuscan Raider things. They got
He's
some
just root
IBC
beer.
in there.
All right, well,
yeah.
Millie, I think we're gonna have to move on. It was a pleasure
Yeah.
having you on.
Pleasure.
yeah, hopefully
It's
we'll
great
see you
to
next
see you.
week, and hopefully
We'll see you
we'll get to
next
talk
week,
about
hopefully.
Cammy and Cammy. 'cause
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the
You'll
hope.
be the
be
first in
number
line.
one. Yeah,
The
first in
Cammy
line for
cameo.
The
That's the
Cammy
hope.
cameo. Well, that'd be so
Um,
cool. I can't wait to go to the credits and it says like Cammy, and that'll be cool.
Yeah.
That's
All right, well,
awesome.
Thank you
But
again,
Millie, thank you.
Number
No
one,
problem.
We'll see you
HoloNet
soon.
Marauder, All New Nerds
Yes.
Discord member.
That's right.
All
That's
right.
right.
Yes, sir.
All right. We'll
Thanks,
see you,
Millie.
See you,
Millie.
Millie.
Happy
See you,
birthday.
Millie.
Thank you.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
All right. Next up.
Next
You
up,
know who
the
it
man-
is. You
the
know
man
who it is
himself.
already.
The
You
man
know who it
himself.
is. It's Mike.
Hey,
Head
what's
up,
up?
Hey.
Jai. There he is.
Levi, Dylan, Johnny, AJ, what's up, boys?
Ponder the
Yeah,
Orb.
I
What's
haven't,
up,
I, haven't,
man?
I haven't watched your reaction yet, but
Oh,
all I
I'm
saw,
insulted, Levi. Oh.
all I
No.
saw was in your chat. You said people who didn't like this episode need to get their heads.
They
checked,
do,
so-
and
Their
you
heads
sound,
checked.
like, you sound like you kind of aren't like that huge. on
Yeah,
it.
I know, Mike.
Well,
Tell him.
all right, yeah. So
I
go
think
ahead.
you guys are
don't know,
fans of
man.
it,
I don't
but
know,
like,
man. I just feel
Yeah.
what do you for me like this episode proved to me like exactly how like huge portions of the fandom is just going to be impossible to like 100% please people all the time. And that like think of it this way, like the last live action Star Wars that we got was Luke freaking Skywalker
Yeah.
and R2D2 showing up in an X-wing to pick up a baby Yoda creature to go train. Like it literally was like
Baby
one
Yoda
of the most important moments in Star Wars history. It was like
Yeah.
the last thing that we got. So
I know.
people are coming into this. Obviously, we had Visions and Bad Batch, but that it's been animated. I'm like live action. Like we're coming back into it now, and it's like the last that Luke Skywalker reveal in Mando. People were waiting 40 years to see that. That's why it was so important. This back to back live action Star Wars. The very next scene is Boba Fett escaping the Starlight Pit. The number 2 thing that people have been waiting 40 years to see. And even with that, there's still people being like, oh, like, it's mid. It's like a 5 out of 10. It's like, what
Well,
do you people freaking want?
I'm not
What
there.
you just saw Boba Fett escape the Starlight Pit. That's like Luke Skywalker was number 1. That was number 2. That was
Yeah,
was
it's pretty
it.
cool.
I think
Be
people just
happy.
like
Everybody be happy.
lost their patience. Like season 2 of Mando broke everyone because we got like something
Yeah.
amazing every week. So I don't know. The
Well,
expectations.
not
Yeah.
every week. Not every
And
week.
since a lot of
Not
us are
every
Marvel
week,
fans
but-
too, and Marvel just like slayed it this year. Like you have to give
Yeah.
it to Marvel. They outdid Star Wars. Like they have been outdoing Star Wars for the last 5 years. It's just like what it is. Star Wars used to be number 1. Marvel is now. But like
I think 2022 we're taking it back. I think
I
Star
know,
Wars-
taking it back, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, this is just like the perfect springboard for that. And I agree with everything Brent said. Like, I'm 100% on board with like all of the different storylines they have now. Like, we've only had 1 episode, and I find it hard to imagine there not being a season 2 of this. There's just so many story opportunities for them to take advantage of now. It's less like, oh, what can they do, and more like, what are they going to choose to do?
Yeah.
Yeah,
all
well,
the
like
different
as
things.
you were kind of getting to it, or that was kind of your broader point, but like it did prove, unless you count Max Rebo as a big reveal, it's gonna have the big reveals, but this episode didn't need like a huge.
No, I think
ending
the big,
reveal
I
to
think
be
the big
great.
moment though was, and I said this in the beginning, was those flashbacks. Like that was the biggest like canon
Right,
moment.
yeah,
Is seeing
yeah.
a new shot of Attack of the Clones and seeing him get out of the Starlight Pit. Like that is
Yeah.
top top Star Wars fan wish list kind of.
Levi,
like,
when you
I
see
wanna
my reaction, you'll see the Max Rebo reveal is probably like my biggest cheer out loud moment of
Yeah.
the entire episode.
Everyone
Max,
loves
man.
Max Rebo.
Not just
Everyone
because
loves
I
he's
think it was for
alive,
me
but also
too.
because he's still like killing it in the bar scene. Like just
He is killing it. I love
Being
the
a
Biff,
gigging
Biff going to
musician
town on the
myself,
guitar.
The
I
whole
know,
thing.
I know. He was
I
rocking.
art-
love that.
Yeah.
The art
he's just
too.
on the grind. I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
love it. And no, I compare it because you said, AJ, you were saying how Mando season 2 gave us everything. But when I watched this episode last night, the way I felt was the same way I felt after watching the second episode of Mando season 2, where you come
Yeah.
down off of that crate dragon thing. In this case, it's the Luke Skywalker thing. And then you get the spiders episode. And with Frog Lady, and like that stuff is still good. And now when you rewatch Mando season 2 with the New Republic X-Wings and you get Trapper Wolf and Cart, like that stuff's great. And in the context of the story, it works great. But when at that moment, when you're like, well, where is this going? Like, we didn't know that the next week was going to be Bo-Katan. Next week is going to be crazy probably for this show. But
Yeah.
Immediately when I watched it, I was like, man, I mean, it's good, but I need more to make this better for me, because this is part 1 of a 7-part story here. And so that's how I felt last night. Then I rewatched it, and I have garnered some more appreciation for it. So I have gone from like a 7 to an 8. I'm in that range right now.
Yeah.
So it's definitely not bad.
That's
but
fair.
I am not like
I gave it an 8.5, and I still feel the same way. And my biggest complaint was I just wish it was 10 minutes longer. And
Absolutely.
that's
And-
not even the biggest complaint.
and that would have, I think,
because
would've-
it really, if the next, you know what, I won't accept 22-minute episodes. If they give us one of those, I'm going to be actually kind of really pissed off.
but
yeah.
hey
especially
now,
since it's a 7 episodes, not 8.
hey now,
Like,
remember
I was
though,
expecting an hour for this first.
remember
one,
that
honestly.
one of the best episodes of Mando season 2 is the shortest episode of any Star Wars live action thing, and that's when Boba Fett came back for the first time on that type
Yeah.
episode. That episode's only like 23 minutes long, and
How
it is killer.
How much
is-
of this episode was actual dialogue? Not much at all, right? There was
Not much at all, yeah.
just a couple lines uttered.
And it
by-
should have been.
It
all
was
the-
mostly ambiance and scenery. So like when you
Yeah.
have that kind of stuff, like
And
it's-
They
all of
accomplished a lot through what little they said, though.
yeah.
And all the stuff all that dialogue was from stuff in the present timeline. And when I was looking at the breakdown, like it's 10 minutes flashback, 10 minutes present, then 10 minutes back to flashback. And if there was just 5 minutes more of the present tacked on at the end of this episode, then it could have been 9 out of 10 for me. Like if here's Fennec bringing in the guy,
I do
we
agree
gotta
with
go
that.
see
I
the
do.
mayor. Like
Yeah.
that would have been, and we'll get all that stuff next episode.
Yeah.
That is all filmed. That all exists. I'm sure of it. And so I don't know.
Well, I guess it's good. Yeah, the show is accomplished when you finish the episode and you're just like, I want more. Like, I
Yeah.
want more of this. Please give me more.
And then one
So-
more thing, I was
Very
cool
true.
with the creature at the end, but I was also kind of like in. It does get kind of ridiculous where it's like, wow, so they did another subterranean reptile that
Yeah.
isn't
Tatooine's-
a lesser crate dragon. Like
Yeah,
that's what my
Tatooine
reaction was.
sucks.
I was like, this is the lesser crate dragon.
That's
Like,
what I said too. I was like, oh, it's
I
gonna
know.
be Crash
I thought-
Dragon.
And I'm
Yeah,
like,
it's
in
in-
my mind, I was like, if this is supposed to be a lesser crate dragon, it's kind of a shitty design. It looks kind of like Goro from Mortal Kombat.
No, that's
or
what I said. I was
whatever.
like, yeah, Prince
Yes,
Goro.
yeah.
Scorpion
it looks a
King, the
lot like-
Scorpion
But then,
King,
like Jenny,
Rock.
who isn't a Star Wars fan, she was like, "I don't think that's supposed to be a crate dragon. I think that's something new." And I'm like, Tatooine is just like overkill now. Now they've just like it's just too many
It's
monsters.
Murder Planet. Yeah, if
on
you're out in
one
the desert,
planet
dude,
that-
you're done.
Yeah, especially when these are like apex predator reptiles in like a barren desert where it's like there's other like no, you can only have like crate dragons and greater crates and lesser crates. Like I thought that was a little bit ridiculous.
Mike,
but
you've always
I
had a
forgave
monster
them
thing.
because I thought it was
You've always
free.
had a monster thing. Remember when we were watching Bad Batch? You were going on about the tentacles.
Yeah.
going on about the tentacles.
Well, imagine if this had been a tentacle monster,
Too-
then
too
there would
many-
be
You would have probably. deleted
That
the
would've-
channel.
Yeah,
Yeah, we already got Starlight.
There's Starlight.
Jin.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And the biggest comment I had was the fact that they finally did like a thirst trap male Twi'lek, where it was like
Yeah.
like finally they're objectifying the man and not
Yeah,
the
male slaves. Yeah,
yeah. I thought that was good because they made sure to have like the escort Twi'lek and then the gigolo Twi'lek, and it was.
that whole scene I think is the best part of the episode.
And I
That-
had
that-
no idea that was Jennifer Beals.
Yeah, Jennifer Beal. Yeah,
And that to me, that's just awesome. She's also 58 years old, apparently, just like Ming Na Wen. And it's like,
yeah.
that
Garza
dude-
Flip.
like so far, like the main characters of this
bunch of
show
old people.
are like really
Bunch of
attractive
oldies, yeah.
grandparents.
Yeah,
basically.
Tamora Morrison's 61.
Yeah,
he looks
Jeez.
great.
so
Yeah.
they're
He's doing his own
representing the
stunts.
age very well. Yeah,
Yeah, no, great. All right, well, thank you, Mike.
thanks, guys.
Mike,
We appreciate
you
you
as always.
helping the
killing
channel
it.
grow.
I
from the
I
start.
know most of the chat knows, but where can they find you?
You can find me at All New Nerds. And
Let's go, baby.
Make sure to go to subscribe to HoloNet Marauders
Marauders,
and
yeah.
the Red
Thank
Age
you.
of Grozu
Thank
as
you.
well.
Yeah, go
Yeah,
check out
true.
Mike's reaction with his sister Jenny because I'm sure it is very
Yes.
good. I'm gonna go watch it literally right after
I'm interested to know what she thinks because she's not.
Yeah,
as
she
big a
know it
Star
was
Wars
good. It was good. I'm glad.
No,
Jenny
she
was
liked
the
it. Yeah,
thumbs
right.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She didn't read this.
She didn't have
watched-
to read it.
Yeah, she didn't read it.
She watched
Yeah.
it.
She actually watched it. She didn't read it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, boys. Thanks.
All right.
All right,
Thanks for
Mike.
coming in,
See you
Mike.
later, buddy.
See you around.
Bye.
All right.
So next,
So I
we
think
got,
this is our first
First-
appearance on the
No, I think,
channel now.
I think Dimes came on.
Should we give him a warning? Dimes, you ready?
Dimes, are you
Come
there?
on.
Dimes, are you
Oh,
there?
he looks ready. Oh, he's
Yeah, he's
ready.
ready.
All
He's ready.
right,
So
let's
I
get him
think
in
he
here.
came on
3,
during-
2, 1.
One.
It's Dimes.
Hey, Dimes doing
Hello,
Alright.
everyone.
Welcome,
How you guys
welcome,
doing?
What's going on,
welcome.
man?
Doing well. How are you?
Glad to be on the show. So overall,
Happy to
I
have
loved
you.
the episode. I thought it was like super, like really solid. And
Mhm.
I didn't like it as much as Mando season 2 because I just love that opener. Like
Yeah.
with the crate
Oh, yeah.
dragon and stuff. It's sick. Like I don't know.
It's
And I
also
love
like
Cobb
15
Vance.
minutes.
Cobb.
Yeah, it is.
Ooh,
Yeah,
Cobb-
it's
Cobb
exactly. I
Vance.
think wasn't it the longest episode of
It
season
still
2?
is. Yeah, it's still the
Yeah.
longest
It
episode.
was almost
of
an
any.
hour.
Okay,
right?
yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
But actually, I liked it better than the Mando season 1 pilot.
Okay.
Which was
Hmm.
which I don't know why like the pilot of
I would agree, so.
season 1 just didn't hit me as hard as this one. Like I just loved all the stuff of him of Boba escaping like the Starlight pit and all that, and I thought it was really fun. And plus, I also when I play Battlefront 2, I always play as Boba. So I mean,
Oh, you're a
Boba's
Boba
my
guy.
guy.
We don't like
You're
Boba players around these.
Yeah.
You
parts.
must tear apart the
everybody hates
Tatooine
Boba
map.
players, but
Tatooine.
he's just too good. I mean, what can I say?
So
He is too good. It's annoying.
So you guys both think this is better than Johnny and Dimes? You both think this is better than Mando season 1? That's
Yeah, I mean, I think I like it more because
I
it's a
do, yeah.
pre-established character.
Okay.
Yeah.
For
It
me,
had more
I watched.
mystery.
No, go ahead, Dimes.
Okay, I do like. Sorry, you can go ahead.
No, you're the guest, please.
Okay. I do love the opening scene of Mando where he just goes in and like
Bar, yeah.
like goes right
So
for the
good.
bounty and stuff. That
Yeah.
that part is,
Yeah.
is awesome. But I felt like the rest of the Mando season 1 opener kind of just had like a little bit of pacing issues and stuff. I don't know. Oh yeah, Wrench, you definitely get a shout out.
Shout out to
Wrench is,
Ren.
Shout out,
yeah,
Ren.
shout out to Wrench.
Loyal viewer.
He's been the whole chat. I've seen the comments. I've just been purposely because it's part of the bit,
Ignoring
but-
them.
Yeah. Okay. Continue,
Anyways,
Dimes. So yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I love Robert Rodriguez, like his
style.
cinematography and stuff.
Yeah.
I do feel like the action in this episode could have been done a little bit better, kind of more like the episode 6 of Mando, because that action was
Sure.
awesome. Like,
Yeah.
it was so good. I love the action in episode 6 of Mando season 2. But I think he's gonna up his game as the show goes along, because like if you look at, I was looking at like all the projects he's done. He hasn't done that many like high budget things. Like he did, I think, Alita Battle
Alita's
Angel.
the biggest, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, my
that's
man
the
was doing
biggest
like
one he
Shark
does.
Boy and Lava
biggest.
Girl, so
Yeah,
It's true.
exactly.
And the
This movie's a fire
uh,
though. So
How did he land this job anyway? Like that's kind of random.
Alita.
But hey,
Alita.
I think he's a good
Alita.
director. A good director.
Yeah, John
Once Upon a
Favreau.
Time in Mexico.
Yeah, he
right?
did the Mexico
Yeah.
trip.
Yeah.
Those are great. Yeah.
Those are great,
Yeah.
and those are super cheap. Anyway,
Yeah.
so you're saying about the action. I agree. I think the best action this episode was definitely with Fennec, the parkour.
the parkour
Like that was all.
Yeah,
That was
sick.
all
That
really
was-
well
Tatooine
shot.
parkour. I need
But
more of that
I
in
do
my
I
life.
do agree that some of the action and between him and the Tusken and then him, it's not as well shot as say
Mhm.
chapter 14 or whatever, the tragedy. Like that was brutal. Boba Fett was insane in those episodes. Everyone was like, whoa, that's nuts. This was, pretty good. It was good action, but it wasn't like that.
Right.
And I think I'm interested to see how the show goes when it's Bryce Dallas Howard directing and Rick Famuyiwa
Mhm.
and Dave Filoni, because I think personally I like those directors a little bit more when it comes to Star
Just
Wars.
gotta expose Wrench because he's
I'm like,
saying this and then he's regret comes.
I regret calling this.
There is a
Okay.
delete button.
There is. Yeah, so
Honestly, we should have a whole channel on our Discord just dedicated to Wrench's memes.
yeah, he does.
Wrench's
yeah,
Corner, only he can
Right.
post.
Yeah, Wrench's
Wrench's
corner.
corner. Well, we'll look into that. Yeah, but I'm excited to
Yeah.
see some other directors on the helm of the show with these characters, like especially someone like Dave
Yeah.
Filoni, who has known Boba for so long, worked on this character for so long. Like whatever his episode is, I'm sure that'll be the one where he brings in Cad Bane or brings in whatever cameo that is, because Dave knows these characters, establishes their connections.
Just like with Ahsoka in Mando.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Dave's just been playing the long game, man. He started with the animation. He's like, nah, these characters they're gonna be a big part.
Wait, so okay, random question, but was the first time we saw Fennec in Dave Filoni's episode in season 1?
It was.
Besides the pilot. Okay, that's
the first time.
So he always introduces somebody when he directs it.
Good point. Fennec is so cool in that episode. That episode gets unduly crapped on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of that episode, but the ending was dope.
I actually really liked that episode. Like, like in this season, it was like I liked it better than I thought
on rewatch. I thought
it has that awesome opening with the space battle, and that guy says his line. He goes, "That's my line," and the ship explodes, and he goes, "Ah!" That's great. Anyway, so we asked this question for everyone. In comparison to some of the other Star Wars premieres, how do you put this? And I know you said it was better than Mando season 1, but what about in season 2 below? But how about like some of the animated stuff?
Okay, so definitely better than the Clone Wars pilot. I'm not a big fan of the Clone Wars pilot. I love Clone Wars, don't get me wrong. I'm not the biggest fan of season 1. I love season 2. I think season 2 is really underrated.
Best season.
I'm not the biggest fan of the pilot. And Rebels, I don't like Rebels season 3. I love Rebels actually overall as a whole. I love Rebels season 2, season 4, and I think season 1 is underrated. I don't know why, but
season 3
I think I've gone back. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like season 3 just has too much filler, but season 1 I've gone back to the most and like rewatched those episodes. But no, I definitely put this Boba episode over the pilot of Rebels.
In terms of
Bad Batch. Okay, wait, sorry, I forgot.
Yeah, Bad Batch is 70 minutes. Like it's a 70-minute premiere.
Yeah,
like,
I
love that premiere. I really love that premiere.
Yeah,
like,
it's a
good
very
time.
good
It's
premiere.
great.
So
honestly, like the premiere gets close to Boba. I think they're around equal.
Yeah, I'd agree actually. For me, like this is But what do you think we're going to see next week? What are you looking forward to?
I don't know. Okay, I doubt we're gonna see Kira, but I really want to see Kira because Solo is honestly one of my favorite Star Wars movies.
Same.
I didn't. It wasn't like that the first time I watched it. The first time I watched it, I liked it, but I was like, whatever. That was years back. But it's probably my most rewatched Star Wars movie, along with Empire and Force Awakens. Wow. So yeah.
There you go.
There we go.
It's great.
Yeah,
I like.
Yeah, I would love to see Kira too. I think it kind of I mean, I haven't read the comics actually, but I know she's a big prominent part in the most recent comics. Yeah. So
and
she gets her part in it. Boba. Yeah, what's up?
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say that Kira's actually filming for I think Secret Invasion. So she is like working with
she's
Amelia Clark. Yeah.
So she's got the end
right now. So she's in the Disney bubble right now. So and like I heard people saying, "Oh, she's not going to come back to Star Wars or whatever," but I think it's likely.
And a lot of stuff that adds credence to the rumor that she's in this show is that she didn't really film anything publicly in 2020 and 2021. Like she wasn't listed on much stuff, and people think maybe it's because she was on some of these Disney shows in secret. So we'll see. I mean, I could see her being like a reveal towards the end is like the mayor is working for her kind of deal, but we'll see.
Yeah,
cool.
That'd be cool.
Well, Dimes.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining. We appreciate your
opinion. You guys for having me on.
And hopefully you'll be here next week. I'd like to hope so. Next week it might just be me and you talking because these guys are going to be gone. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
Okay.
We'll
what?
Be here,
It's true.
Okay.
No, you're not.
Yeah, we're going to be away.
Technical difficulties.
I'm bringing my stuff. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Different conversation.
Different conversation. All right.
We don't need to have this right now.
Thank you, Dimes. We will talk to you around on all the. We talk to you.
Talk to you around.
All right. In the comments in the Discord.
See you guys.
Yeah. See you, Dimes.
See you, buddy. All right.
And lastly,
but not least.
Let's give a warning. Anchorman, are you ready?
Anchorman is coming on the G Stream Anchorman.
All right.
We're going to give you a countdown. 3, 2, 1. You're coming in. What's going on, man?
Welcome.
Where's the cheese?
Hello.
The cheese.
Hello.
Hello. Not hearing anything from your end, Anchorman.
Yeah, they unmuted, so there might be a problem with that.
Let's see here.
I love the profile picture, the R2 with
I did too.
The antlers. It's a good,
very festive,
holiday themed, life day themed.
Hey,
my mic is not working.
Mic's not working.
I don't know how we would get it on.
Yeah, I don't know if we can do that, buddy. Sorry about that.
Next week, though. You should call
next
it.
week.
No,
we'll do
Anchorman!
next week.
Anchorman,
Next
no!
week. That's okay.
The cheese stream one
Get it
day.
fixed,
Sorry.
Anchorman.
Bring the cheese.
I'm sorry.
That's
Bring
trash.
It's okay. Well,
cheese.
always next week. Yeah, but thank you, my God, guys. I think this was the most amount of people we've ever had on a stream like this. Coming in. So that was exciting.
Look, Star Wars is back. It feels good. It
Star Wars
feels
is back,
we've been so much
baby.
Marvel, and I love Marvel, but like, come on, give us some Star
It's Star
Wars.
Wars.
It's
Yeah,
Star
that's
Wars.
so
It's
Millie.
our
That's
bread
what I
and
was
butter.
talking about earlier. Is apparently the Crimson Dawn theme is incorporated in the Book of Boba Fett theme. I mean, I think it's just similar notes. I think it's just music, man. I think it's just music. But that's just me. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. It'd be crazy if they were in the show.
Yeah.
It would be.
I don't know.
I guess
Overall
we'll
thoughts, though. What do you think we would collectively give this episode as a rating?
I like the 8 range.
You think 8? Can we all agree on an 8?
Yeah, I guess so.
8.
Like
An
eight.
The review is in. The
review is in.
AJ is
Gives an 8.
Officially, the
Next
Book
week
of Boba
gives it a
Fett.
whole point up. So.
The Book of Boba Fett, Chapter 1, Strangers in a Strange Land, is an 8 from the All New
An 8.
Nerds. 8 out of 10.
believe so.
I think I
Plus
can
a third of the HoloNet Marauders.
plus a third of the
Yes,
HoloNet
yes.
Marauders. I think I can sleep at night with that. An out of 10.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us in this discussion of Chapter 1. Hopefully, we'll have some more to dig into next week with Chapter 2.
Oh, wait.
Oh, hold on.
Surprise!
Someone's
cameo.
coming through.
Surprise cameo?
Do we wait?
Hold on. What is surprise cameo?
I don't know. This is bad. Okay. Oh my God. The
We got
internet.
Wrench giving his dance.
Whoa.
Is that what it-
These are just
the-
pictures.
the-
I don't. Nope. We can't do it. I'm sorry.
I don't know what.
I like the
can't.
I like the
All
Doc Ock glasses.
That was so.
Yeah,
that was-
the shades are great.
Guys,
that was
everyone
Wrench.
in the chat.
That
If you
was Wrench,
haven't checked
everybody.
out HoloNet Marauders, please.
Oh my god.
They are in the bio. They're HoloNet Marauders.
They're
first thing in the
literally
bio.
in the
They're
bio.
literally in the bio. It's a click. Here, I'll put it. I'm gonna put it in the chat now.
Go check them out. They are.
If you guys
Those are
follow
great
us,
podcasts.
follow Brent, follow us, follow
Follow
or
Brent, follow
I've been
you
to
guys.
their house. I've been in their home.
I
Just
Have
you?
Share the picture.
I think I've. I don't know.
It's a
It's not
top 3
contest.
home. They're great.
It's a top
I've hung
3
out with
home.
them the most out of all of you.
True.
Oh, you want a
You
medal?
came to our panel.
I did.
Yeah.
It was great.
I just
Good
do.
time.
They do great stuff. Podcast.
Okay,
I like
flex
their
about it.
Hollow Cage show.
Well,
going
you
on
were
now.
flex. Okay.
I wasn't fucked. I was just saying I've been there. You people in the chat, please give them some attention because they are the best. That's all I was saying. Johnny.
Thank you.
We love
Back
you.
at
Alright.
you guys. Back at you
Yeah,
guys.
I love you guys.
All right. Well, once again, the re-outro before we had a visit from Wrench.
It's always yeah.
the ghost.
My God.
The ghost of Wrench.
Oh, what that was.
Thank you guys so much for watching. We will catch you next week, and
Mm-hmm.
see ya.
Bye.
Bye.